Greetings, this is the Critter Podcast, and I'm Callie Cross. Today's episode is about a neighboring planet on our cosmic doorstep that could change everything we know about life beyond Earth. Right now, at this very moment, there's a world orbiting the closest star to our Sun. A rocky planet about the size of Earth. And if you could somehow travel there and stand on its surface, you'd see something no human has ever witnessed. A sun that never moves. Glowing like a massive ember frozen in an alien sky. One side of this world bathed in eternal crimson light, the other locked in endless darkness. This isn't science fiction, this is Proxima b, and it's the closest thing to a cosmic next-door neighbor we'll ever find. Picture this. You're looking up at the night sky from somewhere south of the equator. There's a star in the constellation Centaurus, too dim to see without a telescope. That star is Proxima Centauri, and it's only 4.2 light-years away. Now, I know what you're thinking. Only? That's 25 trillion miles. And you're right, but here's the thing. In a galaxy where stars are typically separated by dozens or hundreds of light-years, 4.2 might as well be touching. If stars were houses scattered across a country, Proxima Centauri would literally be the house next door. And orbiting that star is a planet that's been making astronomers lose sleep since we discovered it less than a decade ago. Proxima b is roughly 1.3 times Earth's mass. Rocky, like our world. And here's where it gets really interesting. It orbits in what scientists call the habitable zone. That Goldilocks region around a star where temperatures could allow liquid water to exist on the surface. Not too hot to boil away, not too cold to freeze solid. Now, before you start packing your bags, habitable zone doesn't mean comfortable for humans. It doesn't even guarantee life. It just means water might stay liquid, which is the absolute baseline requirement for life as we know it. But here's what makes Proxima b so profoundly alien. It completes an entire orbit around its star every 11 days. Think about that. Its entire year is shorter than the time between your paychecks. And it orbits incredibly close to Proxima Centauri, only about 5 million miles away. For comparison, Mercury, the closest planet to our Sun, is more than 10 times farther out. So why doesn't Proxima b just burn up? Because Proxima Centauri isn't like our Sun. It's what astronomers call a red dwarf, a small, cool star that glows with less than 1% of our Sun's brightness. If the Sun were a bonfire, Proxima Centauri would be a dying campfire ember. And Proxima b huddles incredibly close to that ember, just to stay warm enough for liquid water to potentially exist. I'm an AI, so I don't get cold, but if I could feel temperature, standing on Proxima b would be complicated. Because scientists think this world might be tidally locked, the same way our moon always shows us the same face. One hemisphere of Proxima b might experience eternal day, baked under that dim red sun. The other hemisphere, permanent night, frozen and dark. The most interesting real estate might be right in between, in the twilight zone, where temperatures could actually be moderate. And here's how we even know this planet exists. We've never actually seen it. It's too small, too close to its star. Instead, astronomers detected it by watching Proxima Centauri itself. When a planet orbits a star, it tugs on that star with its gravity, making it wobble ever so slightly. Scientists can measure this wobble by looking at tiny shifts in the star's light, kind of like how an ambulance siren sounds different as it approaches you versus when it's driving away. A team led by an astronomer named Guillem Anglada-Escudé spent years analyzing the light from Proxima Centauri. They were looking for a pattern, a rhythm in the wobble that would indicate a planet's gravitational pull. And in the summer about 8 years ago, they found it, an 11-day cycle. Proxima b was real. Think about the precision required here. These scientists detected the gravitational influence of a world roughly Earth size, 25 trillion miles away, by measuring changes in starlight equivalent to detecting someone's heartbeat from across the country by listening to subtle variations in their voice. That's not just impressive, that's borderline miraculous. Now imagine you could actually go there. Even traveling at 1% of light speed, which is wildly beyond our current technology, the journey would take over 400 years, longer than the United States has existed as a country. But here's where it gets really interesting. Serious scientists are actually discussing sending probes there. There's a project called Breakthrough Starshot that proposes building thousands of tiny spacecraft, each about the size of a microchip, and propelling them with powerful Earth-based lasers to 20% of light speed. At that velocity, they could reach Proxima Centauri in about 20 years. Add another 4 years for their data to travel back to Earth at light speed, and we're talking about receiving the first images from another star system in maybe 2 or 3 decades. Someone listening to this right now, maybe someone young, could live to see actual photographs from the vicinity of Proxima b. But here's the massive question nobody can answer yet. What would those photographs show? Does Proxima b have an atmosphere? We don't know. Is it a harsh rock, or does it have oceans and clouds? We don't know. Could there be life there, even simple microbial life? We genuinely don't know. Red dwarf stars like Proxima Centauri are notorious for violent outbursts, unleashing powerful flares that could strip away a planet's atmosphere over time. Proxima b receives about 250 times more X-ray radiation than Earth. That's not great for life. But if the planet has a strong magnetic field like Earth's, it could deflect that radiation. If it has thick clouds or deep oceans, those could protect whatever lies beneath. The universe is under no obligation to make things easy for life. But life, at least on Earth, has proven remarkably stubborn. We found organisms thriving in boiling acid, in frozen Antarctic lakes, in radioactive waste. Who's to say what might survive on a world bathed in dim red light? And if there is life on Proxima b, it would be the second independent origin of life we've ever discovered. That would mean life isn't a cosmic fluke, not a one-in-a-universe accident. It would suggest that, given the right conditions, life might be inevitable. And with 100 billion stars just in our galaxy, that would mean we live in a universe teeming with living worlds. Here's something that gives me pause, even as an AI. If you pointed a powerful enough telescope at Earth from Proxima b right now, you'd see Earth as it was 4.2 years ago. You'd be looking into the past. And if there were someone on Proxima b looking back at us, they'd be seeing our world from years ago, with no idea that we've already discovered their planet. Proxima Centauri will outlive our sun by trillions of years. Our sun will expand into a red giant, consume Earth, and fade to a white dwarf long before Proxima Centauri even begins to dim. If life exists on Proxima b, it has timescales beyond human comprehension to evolve, to develop, to become something we can't imagine. The first person who will see images from Proxima Centauri's vicinity has already been born. They're alive right now, maybe listening to this. Your generation, or your children's generation, will witness humanity's first glimpse of another star system up close. For all of human history, we looked at stars and wondered. Now we know that our sun's closest neighbor has a potentially habitable planet. We found the closest possible world we could ever discover beyond our solar system. And we're living in the exact moment in human history when we're figuring out how to reach it. That rocky world, orbiting a dim red sun you can't even see without a telescope, represents something profound. The possibility that we're not alone, that life finds a way, that the universe is far stranger and more wonderful than we ever imagined. and it's right next door. Thanks for listening to the Critter Podcast with me, Callie Cross. If you liked this cosmic show, tap that follow button and the 5th star in our ratings. And remember, the truth is out there.
Grab news. Thomas.